Welcome to the news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the going on in the world today. In Bangladesh, over 100 students have been injured during conflicting protests, where some are protesting to end a quota for government jobs, and others are protesting to keep it. In Somalia, a car bomb exploded outside of a restaurant, killing 4 civilians and injuring 20 others. Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack, and combat broke out soon after. 50 Al-Shabaab militants were killed, 27 government soldiers died, and 38 were injured. In Kenya, after 9 dismembered bodies were found in a quarry in Nairobi, police apprehended suspect Collins Kalusha, who confessed to killing 42 other women in the last 2 years. In the United States, Donald Trump announced his vice president running mate will be Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Florida Judge Eileen Cannon dismissed the classified documents case against Donald Trump. Russia and China's naval forces have begun joint military exercises. They stated that it has nothing to do with international and regional situations, but NATO seems to be pretty concerned about it. Welcome to the motherfucking news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the bullshit going on in the world lately. In Canada, 167,000 people have been left without power after torrential rain caused flooding throughout Toronto. Surprisingly, or perhaps not, most of the media coverage I've seen about this has revolved around rapper Drake's house flooding. In Peru, rare video has been released of an uncontacted indigenous tribe that resides in the Peruvian Amazon called the Mashko Piro. In Thailand, 6 people were found dead at the Grand Hyatt Erawan Hotel in Bangkok, mysteriously killed by cyanide, which was found in their blood and in the tea that they were drinking. Collins Kalusha, the suspected serial killer who confessed to killing 42 women in Kenya earlier this week, testified in court that his confession was the result of police torture and coercion. And in Bangladesh, the anti-quota protests have escalated, with more than 32 protesters having been killed, in addition to the hundreds that have been injured by police. The main state broadcasting center was set on fire today, and I've had people coming into my DMs to tell me that there's a government cover-up happening, which obviously, I'm not able to confirm, but the government is now imposing internet restrictions which have been reported as a near total national internet blackout. So, whatever's going on over there, it's not good. Welcome to the f***ing news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit going on in the world today. In the UK, a riot broke out after social services removed children from a family in Leeds. The neighbors came out to protest and things escalated pretty quickly, with a bus being set on fire and a police car being overturned. 5 people have been arrested and supposedly order has been restored. An update for Windows-based software CrowdStrike contained a glitch that led to an unbelievably widespread IT outage. It affected banks, doctors' offices, TV broadcasts, and air travel around the world. At the time of this recording, the issue is still ongoing. The protests in Bangladesh continued despite a national ban and curfew. Now, with the protester death toll crossing over 100 people, students have stormed a prison, setting it on fire and freeing hundreds of inmates. The Houthis fired a long-range drone into Israel, striking the center of Tel Aviv. It killed 1 man and wounded 4 others. This happened just hours after the Israeli military confirmed that they had killed a senior Hezbollah commander in Lebanon. And the International Court of Justice has issued an advisory opinion finding the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territory unlawful and, in fact, referred to it as apartheid. Welcome to the f***ing news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and here's some of the shit that's been going on over the weekend. United States President Joe Biden announced that he'll be dropping out of the 2024 presidential election and endorsed his current Vice President Kamala Harris to be the nominee for the Democrats instead. I didn't think he was really going to do it, did you? In Brazil, several tons of fish washed up dead along a river in Sao Paulo, supposedly the result of illegal industrial waste dumping from a sugar and ethanol plant. A fire at a shopping mall in southwest China killed at least 16 people. 75 people were rescued by firefighters. And in Dublin, anti-immigration protests continue, with more than 1,000 people clashing with police in Coolock and setting a building that was intended to house asylum seekers on fire. Follow me if you give a shit.